The number of COVID-19 cases continues to rise globally and right here in Guyana. Therefore, we encourage everyone to practice social distancing. Wear a mask if you have to leave your homes and wash your hands thoroughly and frequently as we all strive to stop the spread of the virus. Welcome to InfoHub for Friday, June 19. Thanks for joining us. Amongst the new COVID-19 cases recorded as of June 18, 6 of those are teachers of the Santa Rosa Primary School in Maruca, Region 1. Details in this report.
The Ministry of Education has confirmed that these teachers who tested positive for COVID-19 did not come into contact with students or other teachers of the school. Those infected with COVID-19 were noted to be volunteers of a hamper distribution drive on May 25. Upon testing positive, they have been placed in institutional isolation. The Department of Education in Maruca has advised the remaining 26 teachers of the Santa Rosa Primary School to self-quarantine. The Department of Education will continue to work with regional health officials and the Ministry of Public Health to ensure the teachers' safety is guaranteed. Meanwhile, schools in the region have been closed since March 16, and schools in Maruca were not opened on June 8 as scheduled. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
The notice of motion served on Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield, preventing him from submitting his final report to the Guyana Elections Commission for deliberation, was heard today in the Court of Appeal. Private citizen Eslyn David, through attorney-at-law Mayor Robinson, filed an injunction in the Court of Appeal on Thursday to prevent the CEO and the Guyana Elections Commission from making a declaration of any results of the March 2 elections. The court application says that GCOM has failed to act in accordance with the terms of Order Number 60 of 2020 and the amended order dated the 29th day of May 2020, and has failed to determine a final credible count and or the credibility of the result of the general and regional elections. It seeks to also restrain the CEO from complying with the direction of the chairman of GCOM as set out in a letter dated the 16th day of June 2020 to submit to the GCOM an elections report under Article 177, Section 2B of the Constitution of Guyana without the Commission determining the final credible count and or the credibility of the general and regional elections. The application is also asking that the CEO be restrained from submitting to GCOM an elections report under Article 177, Section 2B of the Constitution and Section 96, Chapter 103 of the Representation of the People's Act, containing votes that are not credible within the meaning of Order Number 60 of 2020. Stay tuned to our social media accounts for a detailed report on the outcome later this evening. Partnering with the municipality of Rose Hall and the Regional Democratic Council of Region 6, the Civil Defense Commission donated cleaning hampers to homes affected by recent flooding. Gavin Lewis tells us more.
Senior Response Officer of the Civil Defense Commission, Captain Salem October, explained the significance of the collaboration.
It's important that the Civil Defense Commission engages in these activities that sees partnerships across all 10 administrative regions, which forms part of our regional disaster risk management system. This is as a consequence of severe rainfalls that occur over the past week that inundated a number of farmlands, homesteads, as well as homes were flooded with water.
The cleaning supplies will help to sanitize households.
What we're doing is providing an opportunity for residents to clean up in a safe way, to ensure that health and safety measures are taken into account as they clean, and to return their homes to a level of normalcy.
Captain October further reminded citizens to follow all health guidelines and weather reports to ensure safety and readiness should the inclement weather continue.
And the CDC takes this opportunity as well to urge all residents, notwithstanding our current COVID-19 pandemic and the measures that ensues, where we need to take safety quite seriously and we need to ensure that our sanitation practices are ramped up to avoid any spread of further COVID-19 disease. We also have to consider taking all precautions whenever floods occur to ensure that diseases which are mainly waterborne does not have an opportunity to thrive in those conditions. So we're asking all persons to observe the weather forecasts and bulletins, as well as take all measures in low-lying and riverine areas as we're in this rainy season to protect your homes and families from any destruction or any disease transmission.
For InfoHub, Gavin Lewis.
The management of the Guyana Revenue Authority has called on persons to desist from spreading inaccurate and unfounded information about the agency through electronic and other media. In a press release issued on Thursday, the GRA stated that reference can be made to recent posts on the social media platform Facebook alleging that several private garbage disposal vehicles were seen at the GRA's headquarters loading and carting off documents under the watchful eye of its law enforcement arm. The GRA categorically denied these reports, describing them as a reckless and deliberate attempt to peddle misleading information and propaganda about the authority for self-serving purposes. The agency assures that it did not dispose of any confidential documents and that all of its records are intact and can withstand any scrutiny to attest to this fact. Additionally, there was no escort of the garbage trucks to the dump site by LEID staff. It was pointed out that disposal receptacles are placed permanently at the GRA head office, which houses a staff of over 600 persons and handles over 1,000 taxpayer visits per day. Further details on this story can be read on our website. More news after this short break. Stay with us.
The COVID-19 pandemic has had a devastating effect on communities all across Guyana. Many households and individuals now find themselves in need of public assistance. The government of Guyana will be assisting the most vulnerable. Those eligible to apply for this assistance are as follows. Individuals and/or households who are currently benefiting from public assistance provided by the Ministry of Social Protection. Individuals and/or households who applied for public assistance and are awaiting a response from the Ministry of Social Protection. Individuals and/or households who suffered a loss of income due to COVID-19, and households headed by senior citizens or persons with disabilities. Application forms can be downloaded from the Ministry of Social Protection's website at www.mosp.gov.gy or government.gy/eform/241. For further information, please call these numbers. We are in this together. This is a message from the Government of Guyana. We are here to serve you.
Welcome back. The Mahaica-Myconia-Bari Agricultural Development Authority, the MMA-ADA, has initiated a series of interventions to ensure that farmers on the west coast of Berbice have access to adequate irrigation water for the autumn crop. Details from Kellon Rover.
Drainage and Irrigation Manager Mahendranath Ramjit said at present the MMA-ADA Conservancy has dropped to its lowest in 5 years, and should the water level deplete any further, farmers will have no choice but to pump water into their rice lands, as gravity flow will no longer be possible. According to Ramjit, the Barra Channel is congested with weeds and shrubs, and this condition has restricted the proper flow of water.
What we are currently fighting to do now is to look at what the ways to bring the water through the conservation that is blocked. So we embark on a project where with a pontoon and an excavator, and that project is to clear the barrow trench so water will be moving free into the barrow trench and into the main canal.
He posited that the month of June is almost over and the rain is insufficient to recharge the conservancy.
This conservancy is the only conservancy in this region that has gravity feed throughout its length and breadth of the main canal, and farmers at all times have gravity feed during the rainy season and also during the dry season.
He reminded that during last month, the MMA-ADA was successful at rehabilitating 12 miles of channels, grading and shaping the primary access and maintaining sluices. Come next month, the effort of works will accelerate. The project is expected to be concluded in a few days. The cost is estimated at just over $3 million. While the authority is low on funds and is battling to honor its obligations, farmers are urged to visit the office at 8 a.m. to 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays, to make payments on their outstanding D&I and land rental charges. For InfoHub, I am Kellon Rover.
2 flights with repatriated Guyanese are expected to be landing at the Chedi Jagan International Airport today. Strict guidelines are in place to ensure the safety of the incoming passengers as well as the rest of the population. Shaquille Bourne is at the airport and will provide a detailed report soon. Stay tuned to our social media platforms for that story later this evening. Remember to do your part to ensure that you do not put yourself at risk during this time. If you have a cough, fever, and difficulty breathing, please seek medical care early, but call that hotline number first. That's all for today. Connect with us on our social media platforms, including WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, as we bring you the latest and important news related to COVID-19 and much more. You can also subscribe to our website, dpi.gov.gy. Your Bridge Report is up next. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye for now.